Hey guys, what's up? It's me, E, coming at you with another Clash Royale video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the new Blind Challenge, as well as this new deck that I've been playing. Really been enjoying it. So, it's a Hog Cycle deck. You guys may have faced it. You've got the Hog Rider, you've got, Princess, Mega Minion, Graveyard, Ice Spirit, Ice Golem, Log, and Poison. So obviously this is a legendary deck. You can't play this without the Princess and the Log. And really there isn't a good substitute. You could put Zap in maybe for Log, but Zap doesn't get rid of Princess. And so Log is just much more versatile. Zap is really only good if you need to stun a tower, which you don't because this deck cycles so quickly. Or if you need to pause a Sparky. And we're just not seeing a whole lot of those. Now, maybe you guys are still seeing it in the ladder. I don't know. Again, I'm only playing in challenges right now. And speaking of, so we just finished up a classic challenge with this deck, a 12-2. We'll go ahead and take a look at the last battle before we open this chest. And the last battle, guys, was really hard fought against random characters guy from Asia. So let's go ahead and as you can see, he's playing a similar cycle deck that he played very well. And this deck, this goes actually pretty long. So I've got a decent starting hand. You can see he's kind of waiting to see what he's going to play. He doesn't know. Is he going to go with Hog? Is he going to go with Mini P.E.K.K.A? I don't play around with the cards that much. I have Log queued up just in case. But he didn't drop anything. So I don't mind being first to go. Obviously, it's not ideal. But I'm going to drop Princess down on the right. He's going to counter with a Mini P.E.K.K.A in the left, obviously hoping to push the other lane. Now, I'm full on Elixir. I don't want to waste any. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my Hog Rider. Oh, and look, and he's got his own counter push coming over on the left. He's going to drop minions, and that's really the game changer right there is the fact that my Hog got off so many hits. So he's going to bring in his Hog. I misplaced my Graveyard, my Tombstone. Oh, that right there, that misplaced Tombstone cost me so much damage. And at this point, things are not looking real good. So I'm going to do a push because I know he's out of Elixir, and unfortunately with that Mini P.E.K.K.A, I only get 2 hits off. So here we're going to have to play some good defense. Got to place that golem perfectly to kite things across. But notice how I just countered 5 elixir for 2. So that was perfect, letting my towers do the work. Unfortunately, it left me with kind of a crappy rotation. Now, if we look up at his deck, his hand, he didn't have a great rotation either. So kind of 50-50. I'm going to drop my Princess right on his tower. I know he's going to counter with minions, but I wanted to get a shot off because I can counter that. Look at that, a 3-to-1 counter. Again, guys, making positive elixir trades so important. I was expecting the Hog. I'm surprised he still laid it even after I laid Tombstone. He really likes that Fireball, and with the Zap, and I have to Log. I've got to prevent some damage, but the Hog still gets off so many hits. It's such a good thing that I still had 20 life. If I didn't have 20 health on that tower, that he easily would have won because he could have just focused entirely on the right and he wouldn't have ever had to even think about the left. Now he does switch his focus to the right. And I've gotten his tower down to 1,000. So at this point I'm thinking, all right, what do I do? Well, I'm going to have to push hard at the right and just cycle. That's the first time I'd seen the Inferno Tower, and dropping the poison. I wish I had caught the Inferno Tower, but live and learn. And I dropped my Mega Minion off here to protect that Princess because I knew he was going to counter again. Unfortunately, so he spent everything he had right there to counter. So we're gonna get a pretty good push in, and he has the Inferno Tower queued up. So I'm gonna poison because I've got 15 seconds left. I've got to get some damage down on that tower. Of course, he has a lightning, boom, but I managed to take his tower with that Hog. So now suddenly we're in the lead. Just because our tower has 400 more health than he does. So now it's all about playing smart, and we've got opposite towers to play against, so that changes the dynamic too. And really, the Princess wins me this game because you can see she's just doing damage from afar. She's not getting distracted by towers. He's got a good push here. I'm going to counter with a poison and Ice Spirit to freeze that Hog Rider, so he only gets off 2, maybe 3 hits. but look at the princess just doing work. She got that other tower down to 1,000. So, chip damage. This is a chip damage deck. You don't expect to kill the tower in one hit. It's great if you do. He's going to be dropping his Inferno tower in the middle, so I know that's where I should put my Hog Rider. And then a poison to clean up. And just perfect tombstone placements over and over and over. In one of these pushes, I end up having to play a defensive poison, but as much as I can, I want to get poisons and princesses on that tower. The Hog Rider is mostly there as a distraction and to take out and to make him spend that 5 elixir compared to my 4. So that's really why I'm playing the Hog at this point. It's for the positive elixir trade. So we'll get a log in there just for a little bit more damage. Don't know why the princess retargeted. It's probably best that she did. I'll drop another princess off. That was probably poorly played. There's the defensive poison I was talking about, which I had to play. Hog still gets off a swing. I'm a little nervous about that, so I'm going to drop my Mega Minion, but clearly wasn't necessary. I'm really glad that his Mini P.E.K.K.A picks up the Golem that I dropped, and now we're poisoning for the win. We know he's got a couple hundred health. We're gonna log kind of aggressively. We know he's got his Hog coming in. We're gonna have to drop a Tombstone. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. What are we gonna do? Okay, well, we're gonna throw a Mega Minion down to stop the Hog Rider. Fireball's gonna hit both 686. And now we're going to clean up that Mini P.E.K.K.A and log the tower for the win. So, notice 59 seconds left in overtime against this guy. That was the most stressful 12 I'd played, especially since I already had 2 losses, which I believe came in the matches right shortly before then. Those were good matches. A lot of I usually only lose by 1 crown with this deck. It's not a deck where you're going to lose by 2 or lose 3, get 3 crown very often, just because as soon as you take the tower on the right, you're able to put so much pressure on the left. So, or the left to the right. I guess that kind of tells you my typical strategy, and that's a good point to make too. Try to get out of the habit of always playing to one side. It can make you predictable. But especially in a regular tournament, if people play against you a couple times in a row and they know you like to play to the left or the right. So watch that and just try and mix it up. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and open up this Classic Challenge win, 12 trophy, 12 wins. We get 2,000 gold. We get 2 Goblin Huts, 8 Mega Minions. All right. Giant Skeleton. Now there's a card that I am not good with. It will be fun to see the Giant Skelly used with the clone, but I currently do not have that. That card will be coming out soon, so that'll be fun. And last but not least, Elite Barbarians. Now I've leveled mine up to level 8, and I don't know why I've even bothered. These cards are absolutely not good. I've used them once successfully in a blind challenge deck, but generally speaking, it was not good. So anyway, let's get into a blind deck challenge and see if we can have some fun. No idea what we're going to get. I may be terrible, especially if I get a siege deck, and that's not to make an excuse, but it's really interesting. The blind deck challenge will give both players a random deck, and I've on an alt account, I've gotten what was probably a 4.8 elixir cost with no direct damage, and it was awful. It was awful. I just got trounced. So sometimes these decks are really good, and sometimes they're not. When I get a siege deck, it's probably going to lose. I had a mortar game where I played so poorly, I just stuck it behind a tower and said, good game, because I'm just not good with it. Maybe it's a strategy I should learn how to play, but those cards don't really interest me. So let's hope we don't get a siege deck, but let's jump into a live match. And let's see what we get. All right, now you got to go kind of quick here. Looks like we're going to play with a balloon, lumberjack, an inferno dragon, arrows, and this guy's going right for it. So we don't really have anything great. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my lumberjack. And yeah, I really don't know what to play here. We need to counter this because that's going to hurt otherwise. So I think we've made a decent elixir trade there. Um, you know what? I'm going to follow that up with a balloon. He may have archers or a musketeer, but hopefully it will still be able to get off a single hit, which it will get to the tower and take that hit. That's awesome. So sometimes that's all you need. We're going to counter this musketeer with minions, and that works out well. So now we're just going to kind of reset for a second, get some elixir back. We still have several cards he hasn't seen. He hasn't seen our fireball. He hasn't seen our golem. He hasn't seen our inferno dragon, which is really good. It's actually really good for us. So at this point, I'm going to play the inferno dragon, not because I like him, but because I want to save, but because of that. I knew that was coming, and we're going to drop that in there, the Valk right in the middle of all that, and hopefully she can do some work, which she can. And we're going to get our lumberjack in. And I'm really okay with the lumberjack dying, again, because it just speeds up. It'll speed up my inferno dragon, and that'll do some work. Won't kill it, but the musketeer at that will get one shot off on the tower, which I'm really okay with, because we're going to drop our balloon and see what he's got. And we're going to fireball it. I don't know that it's going to help, but it might, and it did not. But we did get some fireball damage there. And we're going to distract his lumberjack. And we are going to take some shots from that stupid guy over there, which is okay. All right, so Valk, 40 seconds left. We've got a 650 health lead. We're gonna drop. We're gonna get some value out of that fireball. Oh, we just missed the musketeer. That's all right. Oh, and there's the game changer right there, folks. And I think I just messed up by playing my lumberjack there. I sure did. But that's okay. That's all right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait for that musketeer, because that musketeer is his best counter to our balloon, which we really want to be able to use. So we're going to get that in, and hopefully everything there will get tanked. I don't feel like taking any damage from these guys. A good play by him defensively. And get some value out of that fireball. And we're going to have to arrow those down. And that was really well played by him. We're going to go ahead and put down our lumberjack. And the minions. And we're going to put the minions down so that they push the balloon. It may not be much, but we shouldn't need a whole lot. And there we go. And that will take the tower and the game. So, pretty good game by Seabass. Seabass, I see what you did there. From Planet Dark. That was not a deck that I particularly enjoyed playing, but you know, it was fun. And yeah, what the heck, we got time for one more. So let's trump in one more, see how it goes. This deck has a okay. This deck is a little weak on defense, and it does include the Lava Hound. So the way to win with this deck, generally speaking, is going to be to get the Lava Hound on their tower, along with, gosh, I don't even know, along with maybe, I really don't know. I'm going to have to mirror Fire Spirits, and even then, it's going to be kind of ugly. Now, I do have an archer on his tower. You know what? We're going to go ahead and... No, we're not going to rage it. We could. And I'm going to have to Goblin Barrel on my own side just to prevent the damage from that beastie, guys. He does so much damage. So I'm really going to struggle defensively here with this deck. If he plays it right, now he misplayed there, so I'm going to be able to take out those minions. But as a general rule, this deck is going to be hard to play against. Now we're going to have to do something about that. I wish I could have used a zap instead of wasting my mirror, but uh, this is I have a very aggressive deck, and this Inferno Dragon I don't think is gonna cut it. Um, in fact, I think I'm gonna drop it, and I just want to cycle. I don't even think I want to use the Lava Hound um, again at the moment, just because of how expensive he is. See, I've got to cycle, otherwise I wouldn't have any defense against against that prince. So we're gonna have to do this. I'm expecting a goblin barrel, and there it is, and right in the middle, of course. Guys, you gotta start doing different things, right? Like it's not enough. You have to not be predictable. And so far, that's all this guy has been, is predictable. Which, I mean, I'm not going to complain. You know, if he helps me by letting me know what to do, you know, that's great. Now he's going to get to the tower, which is awesome. This is going to be a little painful. I'm going to have to throw down a goblin barrel and throw another one down, and I'm probably going to lose this tower right here. Yep. This deck is just so challenging, and I think he just figured out my big weakness, and that is that I have zero. Yeah, he 3-crowned me out of nowhere. Now, guys, that's BM. Don't say thanks. That just don't do that. This deck had like 0 ground defense. I didn't even use my rage spell because it was absolutely pointless. But we'll do one more because that was really fast and painful, and I didn't like it. The Inferno Dragon again. So I'm not a fan of the Inferno Dragon. He gets distracted too easily. He costs 4. Honestly, I'd rather just have the Inferno Tower. I don't have a really good play here, so we're just going to throw up the Goblin Barrel and treat this like a cycle deck. And that was just a wasted Ice Spirit. However, notice back up to full elixir. So, I think he had I was going to say, thought I saw a mini P.E.K.K.A. thrown in there as well. And of course my Inferno Dragon locked onto his little bits instead of anything useful, because that is how the game do. And he's still gonna get off shots with that Musketeer and just wreck me. So yeah, maybe it's just that I don't know how to play with the Inferno Dragon. I'm sure that's a part of it. I don't know. At this point, I really wish, we're going to put Musketeer in the back. I wish we'd had the Witch. It's always good to start the Witch off in the back. All right. I am not afraid of you. All right. He is going to freeze that, which is a smart play. Oh, no. Don't want my Musketeer to die. Do not want Musketeer to die. We're actually going to Goblin Barrel his Musketeer because she's annoying. And we're going to get off a couple hits here. But it's still not enough. He's still probably going to just wreck us. Oh gosh. Misplay by me. Not a huge one, but still a misplay. Now we haven't used our poison. And I'm wondering if that's been a mistake. I am going to poison here. Just because I don't want to waste elixir. And I really want to get some more damage on that tower. And I'm going to freeze, and it should be enough to keep him from taking the tower, which might be enough. Now we want him to use his zap. There we go. So he used his zap, and I did throw it on the same spot, which I know I've been talking to you guys about not doing. Now I'm actually mostly okay with this, because his push went, and yes, there we go. All right. And we'll get some stuff going over here to clean that up. Now, at this point, I'm not too worried about getting 3 crown. Maybe I should be. I don't know. I probably should be. I'm really glad that that dude did not make it into... Alright. Notice how I threw down that ice golem just to soak. And I missed the tower with that. Yeah, this is going to be painful. Alright, we're going to have to prevent as much damage to this tower as we can. Let's make him use some elixir. And if he doesn't, we'll punish him. And we're going to punish him. So he didn't use the elixir to stop the goblin barrel. Which was definitely a mistake. We'll get a freeze. I'm going to change the direction of this. And I'm glad I played defensively there. I was going to poison. Oh boy, am I glad I did that. Oh, that was dumb of me. That was so dumb of me. Oh, but somehow those goblins managed to make it up there. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even see that. But okay, good game to Matthew from Magical X. Goblins at the end. Is that what happened? What happened there? Like, I didn't even... can we do this? There we go. All right, let's watch this in 4X again real quick. Sorry, I know you guys saw it. I don't even know what happened. You know, maybe I'll cut the video and speed this up. And it would be nice to see if there's anything I could have done differently. He actually played really well. He had good counters with his Royal Giant, and I think if he had played the Royal Giant in the back, he would have been more successful because then he could have supported his push. But as it stood, he got a little messed up there at the end. And what I don't understand is here. After this, why he didn't drop the Royal Giant in the middle. Dropping the Royal Giant on your opponent's side is painful. I mean, it's just painful. Maybe he was trying to avoid taking shots from both towers. I don't know. Really, that was the point where he made the mistake. Was it the Goblin Barrel that I used defensively? Are those the goblins that made it to the tower? I don't have any other goblins, so it must have been. So we rolled them out. We froze. Wow. We froze the Inferno Dragon, which I was just hoping to distract. And that let 2 of the goblins make it to the tower. So the Goblin Barrel ends up winning it. All right, well, that's going to do it for me for another day. Hope you guys are enjoying the blind challenges. Eat them up because you only got a few more hours of it. And we'll catch you next time.